Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steph, and if you're new here, I have just finished the 6 weeks fit into my old jeans challenge. If you are already following, I really appreciate your support. This video is going to be mainly reflection, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do next, because a lot of people were saying that they want me to continue, so I'm going to tell you what the plans are going to be as well. So the plan was just to stop at 6 weeks. The beginning of January, I had a pair of jeans. You can see in my check-ins that my belly was really hanging over. I couldn't get them over my hips, and they've always been in the back of my cupboard for years, in the back of my drawer. I put on a load of weight, and you know, you get loads of clothes you put in a pile or you put away in drawers and you forget you even have them. And I thought, I just want to get into my jeans. Like, I've not tracked anything, so there's been no tracking of calories, food, macros, no tracking steps. My Fitbit's been in the cupboard, the scales have gone in the cupboard. The point of this challenge was, one, to experiment. I normally track everything, so I just wanted to do something I haven't done. And two, I just wanted to see how I look and feel in my jeans. I want to respond with my body, like, how is my body looking and feeling? And that's pretty much what I did. And then I think by week 5, I did actually manage to fit into the jeans. And week 6, they fit me, and that was an achievement for me in itself. But I feel like the challenge is maybe a bit incomplete at the moment. I feel maybe we could do a second phase. Like, phase 1 was just to fit into the jeans, and maybe phase 2 could be like sculpting, toning, shaping, like actually look and feel nice and be confident in the jeans. So yeah, it just felt unfinished this 6 weeks. These jeans have always been in the back of my cupboard, and what I really liked over these last 6 weeks is I gave myself a time goal. So I do explain in earlier videos, but if you don't set yourself a time frame, it's probably never going to happen. Like, these jeans I've had in the cupboard for like 5 years or so since I put the weight on. They were my old jeans, actually. I used to fit in them. And I've always said, like, oh, when I get to a certain weight, then I'll start trying my jeans on. I just want to fit in them. Like, that was my goal. And because they wasn't in front of me, they were at the back of the cupboard, like out of sight, out of mind, I never took any actionable steps to achieve that goal. So I decided, like, this time, well, why don't I just measure by my jeans? Because I think, one, if I don't have to get on the scales every week, that's going to be for me a better mindset. I'm not going to feel bad or anything, and the jeans, like, that is my goal. So why don't I see how I progress week by week? So I can definitely see big physical changes. So that is, I'm just, honestly, when I made this challenge at the beginning of January, I did think to myself, like, oh my God, have I set myself up for something I can't actually do? Like, I was really worried about it. But I thought, no, I need to at least try. And by setting that time frame, 6 weeks, I do stress in other videos, it wasn't like to rush, and it was just to set a milestone. Because if you don't set time frames and milestones, then it's unlikely that you're ever going to get there. My previous 5 years have showed that I never took any actionable steps to even try, because they was always in the cupboard. So I also left the jeans on the fridge. They're still there now, actually, in the kitchen. The jeans are on a coat hanger with my top, and they're hanging off the fridge. So I see them every day. I'm not going to be forgetting about it. Mentally, I would say it was very, very nice not tracking anything. Now, I've always tracked stuff. And don't get me wrong, I don't think anything is wrong with tracking, but it depends on your goal and what you're going to track. So I do think tracking can be very, very helpful, but I've always done it and I haven't been successful. I've always got, like, been back and forth. I've lost a bit of weight, and then I've spiraled and I've binged and I've put it back on. Like, last year, I put like 8 kilos on in like a month. Literally, after I just lost it, I started binging, and then it was a spiral, and then I really felt like I let myself down. So it's really nice not having to track anything. So my scales have literally been in the cupboard. I did weigh myself. I'm going to tell you my weight, actually, because I said, if you don't want to listen to the weight, maybe just skip by a minute. But if you do, I said at the beginning of January, I'm going to weigh myself on the 1st of January, which I did. And I said, I'm going to weigh myself at the end of the 6 weeks. Because for me, I used to weigh myself daily. And that used to dictate what I would eat that day. So I could already have my breakfast, lunch, dinner like planned. And then if I got on the scales that morning and it wasn't something I wanted to see, then I would manipulate my food and restrict that day because of what the scale said. So if I planned to have like, I don't know, oats or eggs on toast, then maybe I would cut down on the toast, and no, I would really manipulate like my plan. And when you're in the moment on the scales and you see a number you don't want to see, it's like your heart can sink a little bit and you get like this deep feeling in your gut, like you just like upset or however you're feeling, like really bad about it. And that can control what you eat for the day and what you do for the day. So I would say my mentality has changed. Like even when I go to the gym, I'm not tracking anything at the moment. My Fitbit's been in the cupboard since the beginning. Oh, anyway, sorry, I'm going off track. I was going to tell you what I was going to weigh. Anyway, so sorry. I weighed at the beginning of, so yeah, as I was saying, I was weighing every day, and it was becoming like a bit of a negative habit because I would get on the scales, I wouldn't be happy with what I'd seen, then I would try and restrict, but because I was restricting and I wasn't satisfied getting all of my macros, healthy fats, carbs, proteins, and I was, not fueling properly, I would become starving, and then because of that, I would end up binge eating, and then it'd be this cycle and it'd go round and round, back and forth. So anyway, scales at the beginning of January, I think was 95 kilos. And then I got on the day after the check-in. So if you remember on week 6 video, I said I actually didn't feel like weighing that morning, but I did weigh this morning, a few days after, and I weighed 90 kilos. So in January, so 6 weeks with no tracking of steps, no tracking of gym, no tracking of food, no, completely nothing, just living free, how I want to live, what I want to eat. I've actually managed to lose 5 kilos. So I'm not sure how much that is in pounds. Maybe I'll convert it on the screen, but I'm so happy with that. Like, I don't feel like I've been restricting. I don't feel like I've been punishing myself. Like, it's really good mindset for me at the moment. I think the hardest moment is probably what you've seen if you look back at last week's video when I had a binge eating session for like 2 days. I binge ate so much food. It does explain in that other video, like I made a video, I binge ate for 48 hours and then I showed like 24 hours how I got back on track. So the hardest moment was like when I started to binge eat, or because I think it was like, as I say, my period, lack of sleep. There was a few contributing factors. There was like underlying reasons which I think triggered me to do that. I thought, oh no, Steph, like don't go down this spiral again. Like you've done so well on the 6 weeks challenge. You can actually get into your jeans. Like whether I look good in them at the moment is a different story, but the first goal was actually getting them up and getting them on. So I've done that, and I thought, I've seen this before. I've seen it before. I do well and then I spiral and I binge, put all the weight on, and then I'm back to square one. And I thought, no, don't do this. So I did binge eat for 2 days, and the hardest moment was thinking like, just don't let yourself go. Like don't self-sabotage yourself. You've got to this point, the best and the furthest I've got in the last 5 years. Like do not ruin it under any circumstances. So I think the biggest lesson over this 6 weeks gene challenge is I do find that if you do slip up, like it's completely fine. And it really helped when I did slip up. I was really upset and I felt disgusting. I can't tell you, like, you know, when your stomach is bloated and you just regret every piece of food that you ate. The biggest lesson is don't talk negative to yourself. Like I suffer with mental health stuff anyway, but when I've slipped up and I'm making myself feel worse by putting myself down, telling myself how useless I am, I always slip up, all that negative self-talk gets in your head, and then you start to agree with it, and then it's like, yeah, like what's the point of me continuing? I've already slipped up, like I might as well just continue. I'm never going to do it, I'm never going to succeed, what's the point? And my mindset can really spiral. So I would say it's very normal to slip up. But you know, if you fall down, you just get back up. I can't tell you how many times over the last 5 years I fall down, and I get up every time. And it's very exhausting having to like just restart, because you lose all the weight and then you put it back on again. And really with my emotions, I do use food with my emotions. So like my mood changes about 50 times a day. So like my food can, like, whether I need comfort, like if I'm happy, I'll eat. If I'm angry, I might eat. If I'm sad, I'll eat. Like, there's so many emotions which can cause me to like eat. And if I think every time like I had a slip up, if I talk bad to myself, that, you know, if there's one person that should be kind to yourself, it's definitely you. Like, I need to be kind to myself. Like, why am I putting myself down? Like, I've done so well. Like, no one knows what I've been through the last 5 years. It's been horrendous. You know, I'm slowly taking steps forward. And I would say, yeah, just always talk positive to yourself. And it's really hard, like, because especially if you're depressed or something, you know, when you slip up and it's like, oh, just get back on it. Sometimes it's so hard to even do that. So I do get that, but it did help. No negative self-talk over the last 6 weeks, and especially when I binged, that did help me. I think what surprised me about this 6 weeks challenge is the fact that I was consistent. I do feel it helped with like not tracking anything on this occasion, because let's say that on the week I bit, the 2 days I binged, and then I had to get on the scales the following Wednesday, I would have still felt really heavy, bloated, and that probably could have stopped me checking in and posting a video if I got on the scales, because I already feel in my body I'm a bit heavier and I don't feel good, and I don't want to see it visually on the scales. And also on the scales, 2 days of like eating junk food, is that really fat, or is that like, you know, your stomach's got excess volume of food? Have you got extra like water retention and salt because you've eaten carbs? Like, that might not even be fat on the scales. It could be just like body fluctuations of weight, yeah, like water weight and other things. So that number on the scales would have like messed with my head a little bit, and it was just very good not having to weigh. So I think that's probably what kept me consistent and surprised me. And also, like, I must say, like, the support on the channel I've got is amazing, and I really appreciate it. And I thank everyone that watches and comments and likes and subscribes and just shows their support, because I think this is another reason I'm also consistent. The fact that I feel like posting on YouTube gives me a purpose. Like, I've been so lost these 5 years, like since lockdown, and I gained 7 stone in 10 months. I completely like lost my path and lost my soul, basically. I just lost myself, and it's been very hard. And I feel, even if not many people see my videos, like, I feel it gives me a purpose. It gives me a reason to keep going. I just feel like the first time I've actually, I feel like I've had a reason to keep going and just purpose, and it gives me, like, it's just building my momentum. So I'm not trying to cry right now, but it's surprised. That's what sort of surprised me as well. And even the fact that after I binge ate, I was still consistent. So that surprised me in itself as well, because it's very easy, because you're feeling like, maybe I feel like ashamed, like self-shame, guilt after you've binged. And I thought, you know, the last thing you really want to do is be putting your body and stuff up there. But I know, like, this will help other people as well. This is very normal, like, your journey to be up and down. Like, my journey is literally like this. It has been this whole time. And if you think that your weight loss should be consistent every single week, like you're sort of robotic, like, if you can do that, then like, that's amazing. But I think realistically, for the average person or the average woman, especially, I'm over 30 and I've got polycystic ovaries. I find it very hard to lose weight anyway. It can be very unrealistic for the average person to constantly be losing weight every single week. But if you can do that, amazing. But I like to share this because it shows I'm also human. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm just really, really trying. So I think the plan is then for the next 12 weeks is, I feel the original plan was to do for the 6 weeks challenge, and I do think that built momentum. Like, that's really got me in the zone. And actually, I feel like I've got a little bit of confidence, because it's like, when you tell yourself you're going to do something and you stick to the word, it's like you believe what you're going to say. Because if you always say something, then you never go through with it, then you're not going to believe in your own words. But if you tell yourself you're going to do something, stick to it, you believe in yourself, and you believe what you say has meaning, and you know you're going to do what you say you're going to do. So I feel like, yeah, it's built momentum. I think extending to 12 weeks now would actually see like real change. I actually want to, I've got like, you can probably see like this really fat stomach here, like especially on my lower stomach. And although the jeans go up, I've got a lot of weight around here. I want to trim down, shape, tone, and I feel like by extending the challenge to another 12 weeks, that would allow me to do so. And I know from the comments, you guys have also, you know, wanted to see this as well, which I think is amazing. That makes me really happy. And I think over the next weeks 7 to 12 is going to be maybe focusing a bit more on weights. So although I've not tracked anything for the last 6 weeks, what I'm thinking is I might just track the deadlifts. Now, I don't want to be tracking my gym stuff at the moment, because I like to go with the flow. If I have a plan and then someone's on the machine and it's busy and then I have to wait, and then I can't like deal with it. If I got a plan, I like to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out. Like, I like it to flow. But if I have to stop, wait, think of another exercise, I can't get on that, it's so busy, then I'm not going to stick to it. But the only thing I am going to be doing weights, and I think I'm going to do the Stairmaster. But what I'm not doing, I'm not going to say I'm going to go this many times a week, I'm going to stay for this long. I'm just going to go, like, because if I feel really tired one morning because I'm absolutely had no sleep and I'm exhausted, again, I'm listening to my body. I might want to have a bit of rest that day, I want extra sleep, and the mindset I've had so far is working. So I will be doing a bit of Stairmaster, a bit more walking, and I will be doing normal weights still, but I'm going with the flow. I'll go into the gym if I will just say I will sort of do like upper body, lower body, but I'm not going to track how heavy, what machines. I'm just gonna go to the gym. I'll say like I'll go in there for a little while, when I want to leave I'll leave, and I will just focus on the deadlifts though. I will track that because I want to get really strong on the deadlifts. It makes me feel really good, and just tracking one thing, and I'm only going to really maybe go to the deadlifts twice a week, maybe that's the only thing I will track, but I do want to get strong on the deadlifts, and it's one thing to track, which is for me is manageable. I would just say, like, as I'm reflecting over the last 6 weeks, like I'm still like nervous, and I still have like my doubts and fears. Like I have got a bit of confidence coming back because I've done what I said I was going to do, but there's still always that bit of self-doubt and that fear in me, because I get so far, and everything in the past that I've always done, I've always slipped back off, I've always put the weight on, and I've always undone my progress, but that was in the past. So with this mindset, I'm telling myself it's not the same. Like, I'm doing it this year, like I'm doing it, I'm getting to my goal finally. But yeah, there is that self-doubt, like just a little part of me, like deep down in my heart, that thinks like, I fear like, what if I lose momentum, what if I get stressed, and what if I come off track, and what if I just slip off completely, because that's what my past experience evidences to me, because that is what has happened. But what I need to try and do is not focus on the past unless I'm going to learn from the mistakes I've made, which I have. I always try and turn things into lessons. What can I gain from it? Maybe, you know, what triggered it, and I try and sort of reflect on that. But I don't want to be stuck in the past. I want to be in the present and thinking forward, and my mindset's different this time. I've learned stuff that I didn't know before, so maybe this is the time that I'm actually going to do it. And part of me also worries, and I get nervous about, I have never really been overweight, and up until only in the last 5 years when lockdown started, and I have a fear of like loose skin. I don't know what will happen to my body until I've lost the weight. So I think that is a bit more of a minor worry, because at the end of the day, if I've got my health, like I shouldn't take anything I've got for granted, even though I'm not where I need to be right now. I'm still very lucky that I've got an able body. I can go for walks, I can go to the gym. Like there is a lot of things like physically that I should be grateful for and appreciate, which I do. But at the end of the day, it's still like my body. I'm very self-conscious regardless, and I just worry about loose skin on my belly because I've got some stretch marks, but they're more like white stretch marks. You can't really see them unless you're in a certain light. And I'm thinking, because I put 7 stone on in 10 months. If you do want my weight gain story, by the way, like I'll tell it properly, like what happened, how I put 7 stone on in 10 months when I was always super fit. I can do a video about that. But I've never been this weight, so I don't know because when I went to the gym before, I've only had to maintain weight and just maintain the body I had. It was pretty easy. So I've never actually gone through something where I've put on a significant amount of weight and I've had to lose weight. Like I've never actually had to lose weight other than in this last 5 years. So this is all new for me, and I don't know how my skin's going to be, like if I'm going to have like lots of saggy skin, or it worries me. And it's probably just the unknown, uncertainty. I get anxious anyway. I can get anxious about like most things. So I think it is probably just the element of uncertainty, but I think that's part of like when you're learning to love yourself a bit more and accept yourself. I've never really been able to accept myself. Even when I was slim, I still had my my issues. I was bulimic. That's like a whole nother story in itself. But when I was slim before, I actually wasn't like 100% happy. And I did have my like mental problems as well with how I looked. I thought I was fat, and I really wasn't. It's only now I've put the weight on and I look back and I think, God, I was so like why did I not appreciate, and why did I not accept myself? Like there was really nothing wrong with me. I was tiny, but I wasn't like skinny. I was very strong. I was in the gym. I had like muscle definition, and like it's only when you look back in hindsight and just think like I really was like fine, like there was absolutely nothing wrong with me. And then you get to where I am now, where through depression and mental health, and I've put on 7 stone in 10 months, and I've really put on weight, and I've really got fat. It's like, wow, I should have appreciated what I've had. But sometimes this is why I think there's a lesson in it. You don't really see it until the stuff's happened to you, and then you look back and so I think when I do lose weight this time, I'm gonna be much more accepting of my body's been through a lot. I've been through a lot, and the fact that I've even made it through everything, it's like, my body I'm gonna love more. I'm gonna love myself and accept myself at this time, because I've gone through so many struggles. I'm really gonna appreciate when I do get to like my goal weight, and not just for how I look, but it's also like my health. I'm in my 30s now, mid-30s, so I do have to pay attention to not just looks, but also like mindset, health, and looking after your body. So to end this video, I'm just going to say that I'm going to continue, and I'm going to go from weeks 7 to 12. I'm very excited to see the progress. And for anyone that's been following me through the journey, like I really appreciate it. I'm very thankful to have the support, and I love reading the comments, and I really love when you guys tell me about your experiences as well. I really like to read other people's experiences and situations, because a lot of comments I've read from that you guys have said I actually relate to as well. And I think like I want to create like a space where anyone that's wanting to progress, like personal growth, weight loss, fitness, mental health, like I just want this channel and my videos to be like supportive, encouraging, and like we can do this together, like, and support each other. So if you've been following from the beginning, like I would be interested to know like how long you have been following the journey, whether you're just tuning in now, whether you joined late, whether you've watched the videos back, whether they've helped you. This feedback is actually really helpful for me, and it's interesting to know what kind of videos you like, because this 6-week series has seemed to do really well considering my other videos. So I'll continue that, and if you are gonna follow along, like I'm gonna continue the 6 weeks. If you're gonna jump on as well, I would be interested to know that. And yeah, I would just say thank you for watching. What I forgot to say is I have got a playlist of the 6 weeks challenge. So if you, I can put the link below, but if you are either new or you've only seen some of the episodes, like I'll put the playlist in the pinned comments. So then if you want to, you can literally just go back and watch the video, like binge the video, watch my journey from the beginning, see how I'm progressing. And yeah, I would say thank you for watching. Really appreciate you being here, and I will see you on the next week's update. Peace.